Hi there guys, and welcome to another Train Sim 2017 video. Today we are in the Class 68. I've had this a little while. I've driven it twice, I think, for probably a grand total of about 10 minutes. I think this little thing here will tell us anyway. This is just one of the default scenarios comes with it. I've got a lot of videos coming up that are all more technical side of things, so I've just actually managed to get my hands on about 26 new manuals, which is a fair amount. They should be here at some point this week, so that will give me a load of videos to get done. I've got everything from the 31, 37, unrefurbished and refurbished. I've got HST, all of them. 58, 56, so yeah, plenty to be getting on with. So I thought I'd do something I don't have the manual for, that's just a quick run and to see. This 58, sound-wise to me, is alright. 58, what am I saying? 68, sound-wise is alright to me. I haven't seen one, I've seen them in real life, but not for very long. So I'm quite happy with the sounds, if I'm honest with you. I know there's quite a lot of people complaining about the brakes. I haven't. There is a mod on UKTS. I haven't had that much of an issue with it. Now I've said that I'll end up in emergency about 10 times in this scenario, but we'll give it a go. It's part of it. This was in the process of being built for a long time. DTG were quite, the guy that actually made it was quite vocal about making it and told us when he started. Now I think it was probably about a year all in all. I did ask for help quite a bit of times on a couple of the Facebook groups and stuff, so it's pretty authentic as far as I'm aware. Haven't heard anybody say too much differently from it. So, driver, you'll be running ScotRail's first replacement service today in the form of a Class 68. Start here at Edinburgh. That controls an express service to Glasgow. Open the doors and allow passengers to board here before departing. Oakley dokley. I've still got my frame rate set, my field of view set back. So let's set ETS on. There's a fair bit of rain, that. So let's get those wipers on. Triple clicks for the windscreen wipers. Yep, there we go. ETS is kicked in. Let's get the doors open. Keep people in the dry. So we've got the 68, 88s coming, haven't we? There's another set of 88s just on their way now. I didn't put the headlights on, let's give some light. Let's have a look at the front, check what they're like. Yeah, that's alright. Yeah, there's quite a few people in the 68 and 88 group following the ship over. So, we're expecting the second lot of 88s to arrive any couple of days. We will go through a little bit of info about the 68. It will just be a bit of a Wikipedia and a few other websites, sort of pinching bits from that, because I'm not massively up to speed on these things. DRA is isolated, is it? So was I still taking power there? Yeah, I was. Oh, that's red. So I'm going to need the emergency brake there, see? Help me out! It did help me out. That was quite lucky, really. I don't know what the Mark IIs are from that come with this. I haven't looked at them. My back end's in a tunnel, so I can't really check them at the minute, but we'll have a look at them as we get going. Whee! It does sound nice. And the model's lovely to look at. Really is. They've worked hard on that. I had a green, not a yellow from that. We've got a horn of sorts. Oh, to be fair, that ain't bad. Not the worst in the world, is it? I'll be quite happy with that. I've got 40, but I'm stopping at Haymarket, so I'm not going to give it the beans too much. I'll have a little play with this a bit. I love the way the screen glow is done. I really like that. I was also just having a little test of how slow I could get with the regenerative there. Regenerative, is it regenerative? No. It would be a... oh, the word fails me at the minute. Rheostatic. We went a little bit slow through that bit, so we're a little bit short on time. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 cars. Sorry, I don't like saying cars. 6 coaches. It's quite funny, I was actually just talking to Chris Horsfield on Facebook when I was pulling into Haymarket there, and he was saying he'd just driven the 68 and he ended up in emergency brake, and he said emergency stopping was the way forward, and yep, my brakes just went into emergency pulling into Haymarket there. It's like PBL but not, isn't it? Don't know if it's just been badly scripted. I'll have a bit more of a play with it when we speed up a bit. We'll do a running brake test in a bit, and we'll give it a go. I'm not stopping till Linlithgow, and that's 16 miles. So there we go, 9 trip kilometres. So it's quite a complex little bit of TMS screen, this. I like it. Anything up here? What's F3 do? Oh right, day guard, reset timer. Okay, so that's probably the usage. And then what have we got above here? Nothing. So on there we've got this screen, this screen, which gives us our power settings. It's the running times. This is the main things. We've got full on fuel, tractive effort. Oh, that's nice. Does anybody know what that little swirly thing means? This little picture here. They use it in the 92 as well. There is one, you know, they've got the warning lamps and the stuff on the 92. There's a picture with that on it. This thing's got a fair turn of speed as well. It's not slow. Well, it looks like a comfortable cab. I mean, from some good cab like positions in it. I like that. What have we got here? TPWS isolation. I wonder if that actually like works, like in scenarios. NRN. What have we got down this side? What are these plugs? You get a USB plug. And then fan speeds, vents, so cool, I like that. And I can hear the fans. What's that button? DSD holdover switch, really? Nice. Sander. See, I told you I haven't had to play with this properly yet. What's that? Aircon maybe? That's a picture of the cab. It's got a recycle button. Desk lights, turn them up and down. So instrument lights, clipboard light, cab light. Then we've got headlights, so I've got full dip and some markers for, well, I don't know, I won't even pretend I know. Train length button, sounds like it works. Yeah. Unsure what this is either. And what we've got here, sounding nice, wheel slip protection override. It seems to like to work. Hazard lights, do they work? Oh, let's have a look. Yeah, like that. I could see them flashing from in the cab. And we've got wipers, head and tail light switch. Anything on the NRN? No. Parking brake, engine start stop, ETS. And it holds a lovely 99.3 mile an hour, even though we should have been doing 90. Oh, I like that. Yeah, no, I quite like it. Going down to 80 now anyway. Pretty much overusing that rear static brake there. I could get quite used to this. So else we've got sun visor that works. Yep. Oh, a red cab light. Is that like a night light? Stick DSD on, see what that's like. GSMR. Nothing on that. Did we check that earlier? I can't remember. Probably did. And what is this thing? Tail lock 2500 by the looks of it. Don't know. Could be. Something to do with GSMR and NRN, or it could be on-train data monitoring recorder, so like your black box. Can I change the airflow? See, I'd like to be able to change my little widget there to show it. Let's have a little play with the brakes, since we're only 3 miles away from the Lithgow, so let's not worry about that. So what have we got? So you've got apply, hold, release. Okay. So what have you got? Apply and then emergency. So that's where the issue is, I'm guessing. So that's an apply, release. Okay.
Before I join them, ready to just.
So it takes off the amps to build up to get the brake in. So we'll go with a little bit of see, I don't know the reason why it's not blended. I'm sure there is a absolutely bloody perfectly good reason for it not to be blended, but just not one that I know of. So what I mean by blended is that by applying the train brake, it does your rear static plus your air brakes. So as per usual, I'm aiming to hit that platform ramp at about 20. I'm a little bit cautious in this, for obvious reasons. It's a DSD. It sounded more like a muster point alarm. Fair put the willies up me, that did. Let's, since we're running probably ridiculously late, yeah, 047.45 and we got it at 50. Let's have a little look at these Mark IIs. I'll be honest, I don't recognise them. I'm trying to think of another DTG back that came with Mark IIs. Mark IIs of the E and F and the aircon ones, basically. Not pressure ventilated, as they like to be called, which just means they've got hopper windows. So if any of you are out there going, oh, he's running late and not driving properly, stop watching the video. This is purely for me to have a little bit of a bash with the 68. I just wanted to see what it's like more than anything. So next stop's at Polmont. Of course, famously the site of the Polmont rail crash. It was July 84, I think, the Polmont crash. It was a westbound push-pull set, so if you guys can remember, do you know, that is going to frighten the life out of me. Where was I? So the Polmont rail crash, it was one of the Class 47 and Mark II DBSOs sets. So they were the push-pull sets. Originally they were for the Edinburgh-Glasgow corridor, and the DBSOs ended up down on the Great Eastern Main Lines, Norwich and Liverpool Street. So they were originally up in Polmont, and I've just realised I've got to probably start putting some brake on. The DBSO end hit a cow, and all 6 carriages plus the locomotive derailed. 13 people died, 61 injured, and it basically caused a massive stir about push-pull trains in the UK. It really was kind of a deciding moment. I mean, yes, by 84 the plans for the Mark III DVTs were already in place, and the Mark IV was not really around, well, thought about even really in 84, I wouldn't have thought. But if you remember, at that time the APTP was still active. The project would it have been actually? I did hear that it did have some implications for the APC project itself, but I don't know if that, I'd have to look that up to see if that was completely true. So don't quote me on that. Stopping a little short, I'm sure we'll actually be in the last carriage. Isn't quite on. I should have pulled myself forward, but as I said, we're not here to do it perfectly today. Sorry, I've got a big jumper on. I've got a fleece on actually, my dad got me for Christmas. But it keeps catching. So I think it's actually after Polmont that we'll get to the actual location of the crash. On this, going this way, it'll be just after the junction after Stirling. So yeah, the people always think that hitting animals in trains is sort of a foregone conclusion, that the animal's just going to be splattered. But always think of the Pullman crash when you think of this, and when your train stopped because there's animals on the line, always think about the Pullman crash, mate. 13 people lost their lives, basically because what is thought to be a leg bone of an Ayrshire cow. Now, an Ayrshire cow's a big beast. It's probably going to weigh about between quarter and half a ton, I think. 450, 500 kilos. And its leg bone at some point literally is like a muster alarm from a rig. I've got to stop listening to it. I'm going to turn it off. Got caught underneath one of the wheels of the leading bogie of the DBSO, and it derailed it. And it isn't just because it was Mark II DBSO. I mean, I think Mark II DBSOs are lighter than Mark III and Mark IV ones. I'd have to look it up. I'm pretty sure there will be. Maybe not. I say that now. I'll look it up in a minute and find out. But anyway, you've got to remember that wasn't the only time that a DVT-led train has had pretty catastrophic reactions. If you look at the Selby disaster as well, that was Mark IV DVT hitting a Land Rover with a trailer with a car in it. It was a Renault Safran that was on the trailer as well. I remember that because my mate's mum had one at the time. I'm pretty sure it's a Safran. And that did similar things. But of course there's other factors in the Selby one. I mean, the fact that I think it definitely was part of the derailment, but if the freight train hadn't been coming and hit it, the loss of life would have been a lot less, but it still would have derailed. There's no impact of the other train with the derailment. We're about a minute and a half down, time-wise. It's also quite interesting to note that most fatalities are actually due to passengers being ejected from the windows, or hit by other. Like most crashes, it's oh god, I'm coming in real hot. Most train crashes the fatalities are bigger because of being hit by things that are flying through the air. But ejected through the windows was some particular mark of Polmont. We're Knebworthing it. Too much yakking. Cheers for the patronising reminder. Task failed. Remember, you can also head over to the academy where you'll find great tips on stopping at stations and picking up passengers. All right, yeah, cheers, mate. Are you actually going to take me out of it now? Nope. See? It's actually finished taking the brakes off. It wasn't really me missing that. What that was Control had actually spoken to me in my secret earpiece and said, Just don't worry about Falkirk because you're running behind. Yeah, that's why. That's what happened. Just thought I want my frame rate counter up for years. This is also the longest I've driven this for, and I won't lie, it's getting a little bit drony. And there's not much in the way of track sounds. I mean, I know that modern locomotives are much better insulated sound-wise to track noise. Quite a bassy thud, which I quite like. So I might actually go back over and reread the Polmont thing. I can't remember what the recommendations were. I think object deflectors was one of them, wasn't it? And I think it was the only, it was the crash that basically meant the headlights had to be on the front of vehicles, like high intensity headlights. I think they came from the Polmont crash as well. That's because the track's not going to have any super elevation in it. So still have that, yeah, look, this thing here. This was the biggest load of keech that I've ever seen brought into Train Sim, this thing. I'm surprised they still have it on there, if I'm honest. Sounds like we're jet powered. Imagine the echo in that, cutting with that horn. So yeah, this field of view setting, I've still got to change it. I've still got around to doing it, if I'm honest. I'd be quite happy about there, even there. I think that 3 clicks in is about normal. Again, started doing something that I shouldn't when I should be driving trains. That'd have been a sharp old stop, that. Oh! Get out of my way! As I said though, this run was really just to look at the 68 in itself. Detail-wise, I'm really impressed. Can you hear that in the video? That sort of thud. It's nice, isn't it? It's a very prescriptive view of sand for a sandbox, isn't it? Do it full pelt leaving. Right, it's not amazing. Pretty rapid. I'm guessing it would have slipped like a bugger on these rails today as well. Although I was thinking the other day, you've probably all have seen this now, you'll have seen the Newcastle to Edinburgh Class 91 video. And the guy that did that, Chris, does lots of scenarios, as I say, in that But we were having a conversation about the weather. Now, he had to set the weather to, I think it was autumn. I think it sets it to his son's birthday, which is actually the day after mine. because he doesn't like having the snow textures. But on this, I've just noticed we've got winter. We have got winter trees. So we have trees with no leaves on, but no snow textures. I've just noticed that. I thought that was a train sim only thing. Like, you didn't get winter trees unless you did snow textures on the ground. I like it. Brilliant. I wonder if you get that if you put rain on. Does anybody know? If you do, please leave a comment and let me know. Because I'm just thinking, if you put snow and rain, the snow wouldn't be on the ground anymore for long, would it? So does it just take rid of the ground snow textures and give you winter tree textures? Queen Street, 6 miles. It's very continental, isn't it? It's like the paper clip, the clips here, soldier sheet and that. I do find them a bit weird, like just the way. It's just speed restriction. Just the way that the modern cabs are done. I don't know. Is it like a thing from the past? Like you just get used to what was around when you were there, because it just doesn't really look like a train cab sometimes to me. Don't get me wrong, I like it. It looks comfortable, and if I was a driver, I'm sure they're lovely. Compared to the rest of DRS's fleet, I think they're probably luxury. Another thing you guys might be able to answer for me in the comments, I'll probably find out myself, but you guys will be quicker than I will. Are these allocated to any depot while up in Scotland? Or are they going across to Carlisle for exams and things? Double yellow there tells us that we may be held at the end of the tunnel. Like that sort of LED effect. Like quite a lot. Guess what? TPWS has just kicked in. Let's see if it's lit up. Where is my TPWS? It's on there. That's pretty cool, look. The physics for that are cool. Because I've braked hard, the water has come forward and off. Oh, I like that a lot. clear into the platform now anyway. So TPWS does work in it. Well, I think, if I'm honest, TPWS I think is in the route. Well, there's another thing you guys can tell me. Is TPWS in the route, or is it in the stock? Or does it have to be on both? I'm not sure. I'm loving those streaks of rain coming down. Another nice harsh stop, but I wanted to see if any more would come. Let's let the lovely passengers off and have a little look around Queen Street while we're here. Alright, and guys, thank you ever so much for joining me. So my verdict on the Class 68 is yes, go for it. That brake is a little bit finickety, but once you're used to it, it seems to be running alright. I'll have a bit more of a drive with it and do some more videos with it in the future. If you have enjoyed this video, please don't forget to like, share and subscribe. Feel free to leave any comments that you want answering in the bottom. I'm trying to get onto comments as much as possible, but I'm not hot at them at the minute, so I do apologise. There's a little bit of a delay before I get back to you. But again, thanks ever so much for watching. Bye bye.